Let's open a blank file in Excel file. Just go to Excel, click on a blank file. Are we all there? So you go to data in your tab section. Now we want to do, we're in cleaning process now, and we say that in cleaning process there is ETL, that is extract, transform, and load, right? The process we want to do now is extract. We want to duplicate what we have on our system. We want to duplicate it in our Power Query. That's the E that we want to do now. So we'll go to get data, and mind you, there are some systems that will be showing that it doesn't show get data. Just go to new query if it's not showing get data. So the file is an Excel file. So I'll go from files, I'll go to from Excel workbook. Are we all there? And I'll click on OK. So it depends on where you save your own data. My own data, I know where I save my data. I don't know where you save your own data. So you go to where you save your own data. I save my own data in my desktop. I don't know where you saved your own. So you people should try and go and locate your data. So have we gotten to this point? Have you ever gotten to this point, please? Hello, sir. Okay. Now, this is what you're going to do. You click on sheet 1. Just click on it. So are we here? Yeah. So now we want to do the next step. No, we've done extract. We've duplicated what is in our Excel file, in our system. We've duplicated it, so I'll bring it to Power Query. The next one is transform data. So we click on transform data. In some system is edit. So when you see transform data is edit, you click on transform data. So it will take us to Power Query. And I said in Power Query, what are we going to do in Power Query? That's where we do cleaning, transforming the data, anything that you want to do on the data, this is where you do it. And this is where you do your EDA as well. Um, First of all, what are we going to do here? Based on the previous data cleaning where we did, what do you think we are going to do? Yeah, we remove the first column, right? And for us to do that, let's go to the home tab. Our system is already there on the home tab. So inside that home tab, this ribbon has shown like under the reduce rows, just go to the arrow under that remove rows. Click on the drop down arrow. Have we clicked on it? Then you click on the remove top rows. So it's going to ask us how many rows do we want to remove. In our own case, how many rows are we going to remove? 3. So we press 3 and we click on OK. Now we've removed all the rows. We notice that there is a blank space in the rest of the column. All this known value, and we don't want that to be in our is a dirty data. Are we there? So our next step that we'll do, we would going to remove the other row that is not needed. We'll right click here on the first date in the first column that has our data. When we right click on it, it's going to show us options that we can pick from. That was what's the operation that you want to do on this. It's asking us What's the operation that you want to do, want to carry out on this column? The first option is remove. We don't want to remove this column. We want to leave it as that. The second one is remove other column. Which one are we going to do? Yeah, we're going to click on remove other column. That one has removed. So now we have just have only one column, and you can't carry it out analysis on just one column. It is not done. You can't carry out analysis on a straight line. We have to break our data into different column. And the next operation will be what? Split column. We want to split that one column into their individual column. So we'll go to under this home tab, which we are still on. We'll go to the under the transform section in the ribbon section. We'll go to the drop down. So this one will show us different options on what to do. Split. Are you doing it? You should be doing it. So I'm doing it. That's why I'm taking my time slow. So you should be doing it as I'm doing it, please. As I'm doing it, you should be doing it. That's why I'm slow. I'm not fast. I don't think I'm fast. Are we all getting it? So inside these options that is here, I'll pick by delimiter. By delimiter. I've explained before. Any character that differentiates a data, like a number, any character that differentiates that is in between the data is called delimiter. In this our case, it is comma that is there. So we click on by delimiter. The system is smart enough to know that it is comma that is there. You understand? Admin is not comma, maybe it shows something different. We would have clicked on the drop down button and click on custom and choose the delimiter that is supposed to be chosen. So we'll leave it as comma. And let me explain the second, this split out. It's showing that do you want to split by leftmost? If you are splitting by leftmost, it's going to split it as just the first one and leave the ready one. You're not going to split it. If it's by rightmost, it's going to just to split at the edge, the last edge. That's the right hand side. But if it's by each occurrence, anywhere you see comma, just split it for me. So the system has automatically picked each occurrence. You understand? Then we'll click on OK. So we've gotten this. Are we out to this point? Please, you should all say chorus yes. So that I know that we are on the same space. Okay. Yeah. So now, and the next thing is that we want to promote. You know, understand that? See, this our retailer. Is still retailer and retailer ID and invoice date is still in our data. It's not showing as our header. You understand? It's not showing as the header of the data, and we need to perform an operation to make it be our header. Power BI, Power Query has the function to do that, and it's still under this home tab. You understand? Just go to your under this in this ribbon section. Check on this the transform section. This transform section. Then go to use first row as header. Don't click on it yet. Just click on the drop down. I encourage clicking on drop down so that you see the options that you want to click on before you click on the stuff. So you click on the drop down. The first option is asking you use first rows as headers. That's what we want to use, right? We check on it. So now it has promoted to as our headers. But still, this data is still not clean. Do you? Okay. Again, let me point out. See, if you make a mistake in Power Query, you come here to delete. There's no Control Z in Power Query. Are we seeing the TV? Look at me. Look at my mouse here. I'll just click on this star. I'll click on this again. So you should actually do the header again, right? Ma, let's pay attention. Are you there, ma? On the home tab, don't write. I'll drop the video. Don't write, so I'll drop the video. On the home tab, once you click on the home tab, in the transform section, you will see use first rows as header. Click on the drop down. Have you clicked on it? You see use first row as headers, right? Yeah, click on it. It's going to perform two operations for you. After promoting it, it's going to change the data type for you. But we'll still come to that. Let's leave data type for now. Let's go with the flow. In this our data, we notice that it's still dirty. Why? Why do you think it's still dirty? You see how with the header within the data set, right? Let me explain something. In Power Query, there's three sections in the header. There's one the data type, there's one the column, and there's the filter. Let me say it again. The data type, this one tells you the type of the data that you have in that column. And ABC means text. The next one is the column. It tells you the name of the header. You understand? And this other button, this is filter. If you click on filter, filter will give you the distinct. That is, it doesn't duplicate what is inside the column. It's give you the distinct value, just for you to check what is inside that column. Now let's click on this. Let's see what is going on. You see our retailer here. You can see that it's not repeated. You just give it out, bring it as one. But look at this here. Retailer is repeated several times here. It's repeated several times. So it brings out your distinct value. And if you want to remove a data inside your column, you just have to uncheck it. Now look at this. I want to remove this retailer. I'll click on the filter. I'll go to my retailer. I'll uncheck it. That means I'm telling the system that I don't want retailer to be showing in my data. You understand? So let's do that. It will not affect the heading because it still is inside our data. Like the header. You understand what I'm saying? That's It has to remove everything in that row that has to do with it. So anywhere you find retailer, anything that has to do with retailer in that row is going to remove it. You understand? Even though you have 100 retailer, once that you've removed that retailer, anything that has to do with retailer in that row is going to remove it. So now you click on OK. These data let me also see. You check here. Is it cleaned? Yes. Let's see. It's cleaned. It's clean now. We've transformed no, we've not do transformation because they're saying something. We've cleaned the data fine. This is where we now do EDA. EDA. That's exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis is, as I said in our notes, it tells you the characteristics of the data, what the data is made of, the data type. You dig deep to know the frequency and all of that. I don't know, time might not really permit us, but it's something that we really need. I prefer we should even stop here so that I'll be able to like explain that EDA in a depth. Yeah, because if you are working on a data set and you don't do your EDA, You don't know what you might not really know what you're working on. Because normally, if you are doing a data science project, they perform EDA. They check the characteristics of the data before they even train the model. That is why it's very important to do your EDA first before you even do your analysis. To know the frequency of data, to know what is missing, and all of that, to check the data type, all those things. So now, let's change our data type, which is part of our EDA process. Our retailer has to be, what kind of data type is retailer? Is the categorical data, right? It's going to be in what data type? Let me tell us, there's different type of data type. Let's write it down, please. There's text. I'll tell us the common one, not everything, just the common one that we might always come across. There's text, there's currency, there's decimal number, there's percentage, and there is date. And sometimes, eh? Okay, there's text. What next again? Currency, again, decimal number, percentage, and date. And you can have, sometimes you can have a boolean value as true and false. It doesn't come every time, and sometimes it comes that way too. But most of the time, what you always get is text and number and currency. That's and date. You understand? So, um, this retailer ID, it's what do you think it's supposed to be? This retailer ID, let me explain the characteristics. Let me just do EDA on it. If, if you want to, let me check the frequency. So now this is what it's telling us. This retailer ID, I've checked it that it has given me like this is 355, 350, I mean, count. Error 0, empty 0, distinct, still 350, unique 350, right? Minimum value 1, maximum value 350. With the characteristics that you see here, what do you think is this column? It's not repeating, the data does not repeat itself. Okay, I went to view. View, yes. I clicked on view. I clicked on view. So, what am I trying to do here? I'm checking the characteristics of the column. These have given me the brief things that is the brief analysis that is going on in that column. Me looking at this, I see that the data is not repeated, right? The data is a unique value, right? And have you ever heard about primary key? Primary key. So what is primary key? Unique identifier. So this is our unique identifier. You understand? It cannot be our retailer ID. You know why? If it's our retailer ID, it won't be unique. It will, because each retailer will have a retailer ID. You understand? Each retailer will have a retailer ID. And we're supposed to have a count of 350. And we're supposed to have a distinct of 5, not 350. You understand? That's why EDA is very important. So now we change this. Let's uncheck this. I don't know. Did you do this with me? Did you do this with me? No. Okay. Let me uncheck this. Let me go back to home. Now I'll change this to this retailer ID. I'll change this to index ID. If you want to change it, if you want to change your column name, just double click on it. Double click on it. See, look at me. I double click on the column. It has highlighted it for me. Then I write index ID and I'll click on OK. Are we changed it to index ID? So now the data type. Let's talk about the data type. Primary key data type are always in text. They are not in number. Primary key, that is primary key data type, they are always in text because you're not summing it. You can only do aggregation on it like count and distinct count. Even you can't even do distinct count because when you do distinct count, you still get the same number. You understand? You can only just it has to be in text. So let's move to the next one. This is invoice date. What do we see? Like what do we observe in our data type in this invoice date? It's showing us as I told us that ABC is text. Is that data type correct? Is it correct? No, let's no we are all learning. Even though we don't get it, we cannot laugh at anybody. Eh? No, you have to come in one bar, right? I told us that there is date data type. I said that right? This has to be in the date data type, not in numbers. Yeah. So we change this to date. We click on that ABC. It will bring us something like this. I click on the ABC. It's going to show us decimal number. I'll click on the date. Should I click on the date? I'll click on the date. So we notice something. It has changed. This is the first number is the month. The middle one is the day. That is the day, and the last one is a year. Yeah. So now let's come to region. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. You know, data type like number can be text. Number number can be text. You can leave it at text, but you cannot put text cannot be in number. Just get it. Number can be in text, but number is asking a question. One ask please. Is asking a question that why did I put my primary key as text and it's showing number in computer. Number can be text. You understand? And but text cannot be in number. Even under programming language too is the same thing too. Just that is just it. We can change it to text. If we go to this place, but I want to change this one to number, it will not allow me to change it to number. Let's try it. Where is number? Error. You see what I'm saying? Number can be text, but text cannot be in number. So let me delete this step. When it shows here, it tells you what is the data type here. ABC is in text. ABC is in text. So this invoice dates, let me change this back to dates. So we have it like the region is in text, we leave it like that. The state is in text, we leave it. The city is in text, we will leave it, right? The product text, we leave it. Now, but there's some, sorry, um, we'll come back to that. Let's work on that data type first. Finish. So now that price per unit is telling us that um, for each product, this is the amount. We all know price per unit now, right? And it's showing our data type as text. If we take this to Excel, it will be giving us error because you cannot sum tests. You cannot do aggregate like sum, like, and you cannot do it. You cannot do it on this price per unit. So we have to change it to number. We change the data type to number. No, we change it to currency. Sorry, currency. The price per unit, change it to currency. So now we want to save this. Go to close. If you want to save it, go to close. Then you click on close and load. Close and load. So this will bring you back to, it will load your data to Excel. You understand? Though we're not done with the data type yet, so we cannot work on it yet. If you can't work on the desktop, click on the file, click on save as. It's two ways. Click on save as, then go to browse, then at least it's going to show you where you want to save. Now click on save. I've saved before, so it's asking me, do I want to replace the I said yes. So that's all for today.